Hello there. This is Canal Algérie, and I'm your host, Karim Zachary. Coming up next in our news programs. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, receives the Turkish Energy and Natural Resources Minister, Fatih Donmas, who's on a working visit to Algeria within the framework of the 11th Algerian-Turkish Joint Intergovernmental Commission for Economic, Scientific and Technical Cooperation. Plus, the prominent Algerian boxer Lucif Hamani passed away at the age of 71 following a long battle with the illness, and the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, sends a message of condolences to his family. And the Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, Lieutenant General Saïd Chengriha, oversees the official installation of Major General Hasnat Belqasem and his functions as acting head of the Employment Preparations Department. Finally, Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad Minister Umtala Mamra stressed the importance of involving the Algerian community established abroad in the reactivation of economic diplomacy. Good evening. Those were today's headlines. First in our news, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received on Wednesday the Turkish Energy and Natural Resources Minister, Fatih Donmas, who's on a working visit to Algeria within the framework of the 11th Algerian-Turkish Joint Intergovernmental Commission for Economic, Scientific and Technical Cooperation. The audience took place in the presence of the President's Cabinet Director, Abdelaziz Khalaf, and Energy and Mines Minister, Mohammed Arqab. After his audience with the head of state, the Turkish energy minister gave a statement to national press.
I would like to thank the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, for his warm reception. I presented to the President Tebboune the most important outcomes of the Joint Economic Committee meeting of the two countries. I also conveyed to the President of the Republic the greetings of his Turkish counterpart, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and informed him of his invitation to visit Turkey to participate in the meeting of the Cooperation Council. During this meeting, we discussed the bilateral relations between the two countries and the prospect for their consolidation in several fields such as energy, mining, agriculture, culture, and tourism. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, welcomed this invitation and expressed his willingness to participate in the meeting. He also affirmed Algeria's readiness to expand the partnership and investment between our two countries. The meeting allowed the agreement to double the efforts of partnership and investment, not only in Algeria and Turkey, but in other countries, which will benefit our two countries.
The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, sent on Wednesday a message of condolences to the family of the Algerian boxer Lucif Hamani, who passed away on Tuesday at the age of 71 following a long illness. With the death of the former boxer Lucif Hamani, Algerian boxing loses one of its pillars, who made the glory of this beloved sport. I present my condolences to the family of the deceased, as well as to all his fans, praying to Allah Almighty to grant him His holy mercy. To God we belong, and to Him we shall return, President Tebboune wrote on his Twitter account. The prominent Algerian boxer, 7 times champion of Algeria, champion of the Maghreb, as well as the gold medalist in both African and Mediterranean Games, Lucif Hamani, passed away on Tuesday evening in the French capital, Paris, at the age of 71, following a long battle with the illness. More details with our own Melissa Kubash.
One of Algeria's great boxers, fought like a beast in the ring, and for many generations of boxers he was considered as the Algerian Muhammad Ali or even Marvin Hagler, world champion at the time, who once met with our champion in 1980. Born on May 15, 1950, in the province of Tizi Ouzou, Hamani was the African super welter champion twice in a row in 1976 and 1977 and received the Golden Gloves from Africa. After 27 fights and 24 victories, including 13 knockouts, the legend today left us at the age of 71 following a long battle with Parkinson's disease. The champion will be buried in his native village alongside his parents and will forever be in our memory. To God we belong, and to Him we shall return.
The Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, Lieutenant General Saeed Shangriha, oversaw the official installation of Major General Hasnat Belqasem in his functions as acting head of the Employment Preparations Department, succeeding Major General Qaidi Mohammed. More details in this report by Manal Amari.
On behalf of the President of the Republic, Supreme Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, the Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, Lieutenant General Saeed Shangriha, supervised on Wednesday the official installation of Major General Hasnat Belqasem in the functions of acting head of the Employment Preparations Department, succeeding Major General Qaidi Mohammed. On this occasion, the Lieutenant General gave instructions and orientations to the executives under the Employment Preparations Department on the need to show devotion and continuously work to make the necessary improvements and suitable adjustments to consolidate the achievements recently recorded in order to align them with the security challenges prevailing in our sub-region to serve Algeria and protect its major interests. As such, Lieutenant General Saeed Shangriha urged the executives to show commitment, rigor, and perseverance in the accomplishment of their assigned missions.
To the parliamentary activities now, debates continued on the text of the Draft Finance Law 2022 in a session chaired by the chairman of the lower house of Parliament, Ibrahim Boughali, and in the presence of the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, Ayman bin Abdurrahman, and several government members. During this third day, MPs presented a series of observations and proposals that address the citizens' concerns. MPs' interventions mainly pertain to the purchasing power of the subsidy of mass consumption products and the global income tax on farmers' profits. The deputies welcomed the measures contained in this draft finance law, which should relieve Algerians with a low income. On the other hand, the people's representatives called for the implementation of other projects at the local level to improve the citizens' living conditions. Moving on now. On the last day of the proceedings of the Conference of Heads of Algerian Diplomatic and Consular Missions held at the nation's palace at the Club des Pins in Algiers, Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad Minister Untitled Chapter stressed the importance of involving the Algerian community established abroad in the reactivation of economic diplomacy, and also called for reinforcing its role in the defense of the high interest of the nation. Still with Lamamra, the Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad Minister Untitled Chapter said on Wednesday that Algeria will take part in the Paris Conference on Libya, a participation that will be made without the presence of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune. Untitled Chapter said that the conditions are not met for a personal participation of the President of the Republic, who reiterated Algeria's commitment to the Libyan brothers and to accompany the Libyan cause towards the desired peaceful and democratic solution. The Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad also harked back to the cowardly assassination of our nationals on November 1st by a premeditated aggression by Akhzen. Imam declared that Algeria is ready to provide all assistance and information related to this aggression to those organizations seized by Algeria. Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad Minister also harked back during a press conference to the latest statements by the French President and to the relations between Algeria and France. And in a related matter, on November 1st, an attack was carried out with heavy weaponry, missiles sent from a Moroccan drone which targeted 2 Algerian transport trucks and killed 3 civilians on board. The latter were making the link between Nouakchott and Ouargla as part of a regular commercial exchange. The premeditated act is all the more precise as the theories put forward by the Moroccan parties are wrong and misleading. So many testimonies and observations attest that this cowardly assassination of defenseless Algerians by Moroccan missiles was a deliberate act. The details provided by the UN were denied by the Moroccan media, which tried in vain to clear the responsibility of Morocco in this despicable attack against civilians. As a reminder, the military agreement number 1 concluded between MINURSO and the Polisario Front in December 1997 on the one hand, and MINURSO and Morocco in January 1992 on the other, instituted a 5-kilometer buffer zone to the east of the wall where any military presence or activity is prohibited, in addition to restricted zones of 25 kilometers to the west of the wall, which are also subject to several restrictions. The proceedings of the 11th Algerian-Turkish Intergovernmental Joint Commission for Economic, Scientific and Technical Cooperation was held on Wednesday. The sessions were marked by the signing of minutes as well as an agreement in the veterinary health sector. More details with Melissa Kobash.
The mixed Algerian-Turkish Intergovernmental Commission will focus on searching for ways and means likely to diversify investment through effective partnership in various fields, namely mining, light industries, information, communication, technologies, startups, agriculture, and renewable energies.
We are preparing in a very rich sector, which is Algerian mining, and the Turkish experience has proven itself, namely in the decorative stone and marble. In the development of several mining resources, we want to share the experience with the Turkish companies, with whom we've already discussed. We mustn't forget that the Turkish companies are solid partners in hydrocarbons and in the petrochemical transformation. Therefore, we want to strengthen these links and develop more.
This commission was also an opportunity for the two ministers to propose a rich and ambitious agenda within the framework of the preparation of the first session of the High-Level Cooperation Council.
Turkish businessmen have invested more than $5 billion in Algeria in the steel industry and entrepreneurship. Today, we are targeting the steel pipe industry with over 550 Turkish projects in Algeria, generating more than 30,000 jobs. The preparation and the projects that are being put together are for the high-level meeting that will be held in the next few months. It will be decided by mutual agreement with the two presidents.
The work of this commission has been sanctioned by numerous measures, in particular an agreement in the field of consumer protection, market inspections, quality control of products and services, as well as a memorandum of understanding for the creation of the Algerian-Turkish Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Energy and Mines Minister Mohamed Al-Qab met with the Turkish Energy and National Resources Minister Fatih Dunmas. During this meeting, the two parties emphasized on the importance of this bilateral meeting. They also reviewed the state of cooperation and partnership between the two countries, described excellent in the field of energy and mines, as well as the prospects of their strengthening. The National Education Minister and the Chairman of the National Commission for Education, Science and Culture, UNESCO, Abdel Hakim Belabed, participated on Tuesday in the 41st session of the UNESCO General Conference. More on the story with Meisa Dumas.
In his capacity as President of the Algerian National Commission of Science, Education and Culture, National Education Minister Abdel Hakim Belabed participated in the second day of the proceedings of the 41st session of the General Conference of UNESCO held in the capital of France, Paris. The Minister of National Education stressed the depth of the historical relations linking the two countries and the need to strengthen them at all levels, especially at the educational and pedagogical levels. Mr. Abdel Hakim Belabed also met with his Italian counterpart, Mr. Patrizio Bianchi.
More relation among the schools, not only among the systems. We have to create possibility to twin, to create connection directly between one school in Italy, one school in Algeria, in order to have more strict relations day by day in cooperation.
The two parties expressed their desire to enhance bilateral cooperation in the field of education, promote and strengthen the teaching of the Italian language and the exchange of experiences in the fields of climate change and environment. It is worth recalling that this Thursday will be marked by the National Education Minister's speech, which coincides with the World Science Day for Peace and Development.
To weather now. Algerian weathercast maintain a level 2 vigilance in the regions of Shlif, Ain Difla, Tipaza, Algiers, Medea, Boumediene, Tizi Ouzou and Bouira. These quantities of rain is estimated to reach between 30 and 50 millimeters. They could even reach or go beyond 70 millimeters. And in a related matter, the fill-in rate of dams in operation across the national territory reached 32.58%, thanks to the last rainfall recorded in several provinces of the country, according to the National Agency for Dams and Transfers. This increase in the volumes of water restored through the country's 75 dams. To a different story now, and on the 6th day of the campaign leading up to the November 27th local election, the heads of political parties called for the promotion of consultations with citizens to create a sustainable local development. More information on the story with Manal Amari.
The president of the Sawt al-Sha'b party, Lamine Osmani, called from Algiers for citizens to participate in the local elections to select honest representatives able to make the desired change and relaunch local development. Still in the capital, the head of Tajamma Amal al-Jazair party, Fatima Zohra Zarwati, emphasized the need to train elected officials for better management of local assemblies and development and respond to citizens' aspirations to offer Algerians better living conditions. In Mustaghanim province, the Secretary General of the National Democratic Rally, Tayyib Zitouni, called for the expansion of the prerogatives of local elected officials and involve citizens in development and local management. From Constantine province, the president of Al Mustaqbal Front, Abdelaziz Bel'eid, called on future local elected officials to promote consultations and dialogue with citizens for real and sustainable local development in order to bring wealth. For his part, the vice president of the Elbina movement also called from Ain Difla province on strengthening Algeria's internal front, noting that this state of affairs is able to defeat attempts to harm the country. From Batna province, the Secretary General of the National Liberation Front Party, Abdel Fadl Baji, stated that the next local elections are closer to the citizens since they directly relate to their daily concerns. Furthermore, from Adrar province, the president of the Peace Society movement, Abdelrazak Makriya, called on people to promote participatory democracy by revising the municipality's code, while reinforcing digitization, which proved its effectiveness during the COVID-19 pandemic.
And last but not least, a peaceful protest was organized in the occupied city of Smara to denounce the repressive politics of Morocco against the Sahrawi civilians and militants, demanding the departure of the occupation forces from the Sahrawi territories, raising Sahrawi flags and signs. The protesters reiterated the right of the Sahrawi people for self-determination and independence. Well, that's it for me now and the rest of the team. Thanks for watching and good night.